We are in a threshold time. A threshold divides one space from another, the outdoors from the indoors, the hallway from the room, the past from the present and the future, sanctuary from the RE space, the known from the unknown and yet to be discovered. Our lives are filled with thresholds, both literal and metaphorical. We cross them many times each day. We may pause on a threshold, wishing to linger in the liminal space, but a threshold is no place to stay, as we are invited to move through into something beyond, something new. This time of year, more than any other, celebrates the threshold. As we entered the liminal space in early December with the deepening time that the Christian world knows as Advent, as the earth completes its cycle into darkness, and as at the solstice begins the journey back toward the light. Echoing the pattern of the planet, we light the darkness with the menorah for Hanukkah, the candles and trees for Christmas, the Kinara of Kwanzaa, celebrating the heritage, the values, and the connections of community, opening the way across the threshold with renewed energy for what may unfold on the other side. Did I receive the offering? Did it not come forward?
It's okay.
Well, actually, I need the baskets. So would you like to bring the offering? I just realized I need the baskets. So would you like to bring the offering forward with both baskets? And I will recommission the baskets for what we're doing during the sermon. Sorry. Obviously, I'm catching up with myself today as I go. This threshold time carries us toward the January 6th Feast of the Epiphany in the Christian tradition. The story, as it is told in the book of Matthew, tells of the Magi, learned scholars from a far-off land, who had studied ancient scriptures and analyzed the night sky. Then, charting their course based on a prophecy, they followed a brilliant star across the miles to Bethlehem, bringing their gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Perfect, Kathy. You're a good partner in the work. Thank you. Bringing their gifts and gold to the place where the young child had recently been born. The word epiphany means an experience of sudden and striking realization. Generally used to describe scientific breakthroughs, religious or philosophical discoveries, it can apply to any situation in which an enlightening realization allows a problem or situation to be understood from a new and deeper perspective. Thank you, Wikipedia. An epiphany opens the way into a deeper and wider view than what is already known or understood. The epiphany described in the biblical verses is a story of risk and discovery, of humans embarking on a journey across wild and treacherous spaces, a quest for a possibility, seeking a hope that was born anew in the world. As Lois Slade told the story in last week's early service, she described the requirements of such a journey. Traveling across a threshold into the unknown meant for the Magi leaving behind any unnecessary burdens to make space for the gifts they carried to celebrate a new hope. Precious gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh for the epiphany they sought. Like the Magi on their journey, the beginning of a new year is a time that we may choose to release the burdens we may be carrying that take up space in our hearts and minds, creating space, creating room for the gifts we want to bring forward. Like our friends in the burrow, weighed down by their backpacks of old hurts and resentments, the baby is fine. We can lighten our way by resolving and letting go the painful past, by asking, giving, and receiving forgiveness, making space for new gifts to enter our lives. I know that I continue to carry burdens of old hurts that weigh me down, hurtful words or actions from as long ago as my childhood or as recently as the past year that carry the sting of pain, feelings of being excluded, rejected, embarrassed, disrespected, or misunderstood. The person who hurt me may not have intended the hurt or may not have understood the impact it would have on me, or I may not have thought their apology was thoughtful or sincere. In the absence of an apology that indicated understanding, I may have done my best to set the hurt aside, thinking I could simply let it go. Those burdens of hurt, however, do not melt away. They often stay quietly tucked away in the recesses of my memory, so that when some new event happens to trigger them, the old feelings can rise to the surface and fuel my anger and pain, adding to the weight in the backpack I carry. Also in my backpack are my memories of all the times I have hurt those I care about, not intending or perhaps not even aware of causing pain. I know my words and actions of repair have not always been enough to heal the hurt, and so my release includes making a sincere apology and asking forgiveness, even if those I hurt are not here to receive my words or respond with their own. I understand that to move across the threshold, I need to lighten my backpack, truly releasing the burdens of hurt given or received in the past. This creates the possibility that I may move forward in my journey to epiphany, seeking light, new hope, and possibility. And I suspect that many of us have similar burdens from incidents, large or small, that you can choose to release to lighten your load. And so at this threshold time, as we move beyond the liminal space to enter a new year of hope and possibility, I invite us all into a simple ritual of release to set down the burdens of past hurt, given and received, creating the space for epiphany, for new possibility to emerge into the rising light. So there will be baskets in just a moment coming around with slips of special paper and pens if you need one, and then I'll describe the next steps. So I'm going to be quiet for a moment just now as I put the paper and the pens in the baskets so that I have your attention as I describe our next activity. This is paper specially treated to dissolve in water. So this is going to be our ritual of release. This is a private and confidential process. I invite you to use the paper to write just a few words, like one word for each burden, right? Just a few words that symbolize for you the hurt you wish to release, to lighten your load, to set aside and create space for the gifts you carry into the opening space of your future. What burdens can we release? What shadows can we clear to open the way for the epiphanies we seek in times of challenge and change? You don't need a lot of words, just enough to take the burden out of your backpack and put it on the paper. You can include as many as you wish, both sides of the paper. And yes, I've got 2 more pieces here, so if you need more paper, you can have it. And up front, in front of the piano, we have a bowl of water. And so your burdens are going onto paper that will dissolve in the bowl of water. So once you have written them down, you can bring them up and place them in the bowl of water, stir them around a little with your finger so that they dissolve. Or if you'd rather not move or it's difficult for you to move, raise your hand and I will come get your burdens and bring them up to put in the water so they dissolve. And then after the service, we'll carry the bowl and pour the water outside to let the earth absorb our burdens and turn them into new life force. As you write, Catherine will play the piano quietly to warm the space as you write and dissolve. And then after everyone has dissolved their burdens, we'll sing softly together, inviting in the epiphany, the energy of loving kindness, to light our way into the emerging space of the new year.